So I thought. In 2016, I had a good friend of mine named Dan come help me continue to build the business. We continued to fund everything on my personal credit cards. Disclaimer, Deck the Door Decor is completely bootstrapped, which makes for a great story, but I do not recommend starting a business on credit cards. Dan and I sought mentorship from a well-respected local businessman who groomed startups before he invested in them. We ultimately learned a lot from him, but at the end of the day ended up having to part ways after about a year because he was 80 years old and didn't really understand e-commerce or door hardware for that matter. Despite all this, our poorly designed website was still generating sales on its own with no marketing, which was a major feat for us because we built it ourselves, and this was in the days before websites were easy to build. Me not being a coder made a really ambitious plan that during the slow winter months, I was going to go through, unplug the website, and completely update the whole website's SEO. So that when spring hit, for that rush, we would hit a new big sales surge. So I bit off more than I could chew. We completely missed that spring deadline. And shit hit the fan. By that time, my credit cards were maxed out and I couldn't keep up with the payments. So we spiraled out and had to admit defeat. So Dan went back to school and I found a job. So this was one of the most stressful periods of my life. And to give you a picture of just how dire the situation had gotten, I was living in a 600 square foot slum apartment, using my couch cushions on the floor as a mattress to sleep on at night because I didn't have a bed, and I was buying food with change. I was researching what chapter of bankruptcy I needed to file in order to keep rights to the company. So on a Tuesday that spring, I came home from a long day at that new job I had. I was wallowing in my sorrow, facing eviction if I didn't come up with rent by the end of the week. And as I was thinking that my paycheck is still 3 weeks away, my pity party got interrupted by a phone notification.